Okay, hello students. This is lesson 19. Welcome to the lesson. In this lesson, there are a few things that I want to do. The first thing I'd like to do is to talk about counseling one more time, hopefully for the last time. I'm going to talk about assignment 9. I want to, last video I introduced our final exam, which will be a mini TOEIC test. So I'm gonna, like I said in the last video, I'm gonna go through every section of the TOEIC speaking exam and teach you about all the sections. And then when we take the test, we might not do all of the sections, but it's important to learn about all of them. Then we'll do an assignment. We'll have another recording your voice assignment. I'm sorry I made you do so many of these, but we'll probably at least have one assignment, one or two assignments every week. Okay, so sorry about that, but I think you need a lot of practice. And then if we have time, I'll do the extra lesson. Okay, so about counseling, many students are done. I've finished a lot of counseling over the last couple weeks, but there's still some students who have not done the counseling. They have not sent me any message or anything. I don't know where they are. If you have not done the counseling yet, you need to contact me. There are too many. I have too many students to, try to find each one and individually, like, beg you to do the counseling. I really need your help to contact me. Okay? It's part of your responsibility in this class to contact me and set up a time to do the counseling. If you never do counseling, it will not be easy for me to give you a good grade in the class. So, I've let you know many times that it's very important to do the counseling. I've said that many times in all of the videos. I've asked you guys many times to contact me. But if you're not going to listen to me and you're not going to follow my direction, which is, to have a counseling session, I'm not going to give you a good grade in the class, okay? I've said this many times. I'm usually a very nice teacher, I think, but there is a really good chance to get a good grade this semester, right? You can get an A or a B very easily in the semester. But if you're not going to follow my directions, I will, without feeling bad or anything, I can give a D, a C, D, or F. I don't care. So if you're not going to do my assignments and you're not going to follow my direction, which is to contact me and set up a counseling time, I'm not going to give you a good grade. So this is the last time I'm going to mention counseling. If you have not done your counseling, make some time to do it. Contact me and set it up. If not, your grade is your grade, okay? So even though you have a really good chance to get an A or a B, like I said, you're not going to follow my directions, you're not going to get a good grade, okay? Counseling does not take a long time. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes usually. All you have to do is just find some time in your day. Doesn't take a long time. I think they're kind of fun. I enjoy doing it. So, it's not a big deal. And I'm pretty flexible about the time. I usually try to do it in the middle of the day, but I can do it late at night. I can do it early in the morning. I try to be flexible. So, like I said, you got to do it. Okay? This is the last time I'm going to talk about counseling. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So, one more time, this will be the final time I say it. If you did not contact me, you better contact me and try to set up a counseling, or you're not getting a good grade. I don't care what other work you do. If you don't do it, not going to get a good grade. Okay, so hopefully now we can have a more happy mood now that that is finished. I'm starting to check your assignments, assignment 9. I'm going to leave feedback on your assignment, so look for that. I'm going to write some comment, so please check that carefully and then follow my directions, and then you can rewrite your assignment 9. My comments will look like this, something like this, right? Make your climax section longer. I'll probably have some comments like that. Make this part longer, make that part longer. If you have some grammar mistakes, I'll probably just fix it for you. I might say I fixed this part, I fixed the grammar. It'll just take too long if I don't do it like that. I might ask you to add more details. I might ask you to add more emotions, whatever. But I'm going to look through it and basically ask you to add parts usually. I might say something like every section should be longer. Like if you wrote a really short one, I might just give a really broad comment like, look, every section needs to be longer. So that's why writing long enough is important, because if you don't write long enough, I can't really give you good feedback. It'll probably take 5 to 10 days from the time you watch this video, so it's going to take a while. Just keep checking. I'll eventually start finishing all of them, but it takes time to check everybody. And then after I comment and then you fix it one last time, then you're just gonna read it and record your voice, and then you'll be done with the midterm assignment. That's the big thing that we've been working on a lot. So I think you'll probably feel happy once this thing is done. It'll mean that the semester is almost done basically, and then the last thing we can worry about will be the TOEIC, the mini TOEIC test, and yeah, that'll be no more writing after this, right? All your writing will be done, so that's good. Okay, so just to review, in case you missed some details from the last video, the final exam in the class will be a mini TOEIC speaking exam. And like I've said before, as far as I know right now, we will do a live test and you must come to the school. Every student must come to the school. That's what I know right now. That could change depending on probably the coronavirus, but as far as I know right now, that is what's going to happen. I'm going to teach you about every section of the TOEIC speaking exam, but not every section will be on our test, just because, like I said before, that'll take too much time. We don't have that kind of time. It'll probably depend on the students in the class too. So if I notice that the students in my class are doing really well and handling the test easily, I might try the harder sections. But if most students are having trouble learning the sections of the test, I'll probably just make it simple. Okay? But you should always remember, whether the test is difficult or easy does not matter that much, because we are using relative grading or 상대평가. Okay, so if the test is difficult, it's going to be difficult for everybody. There will still be 50% A's. Okay, so it doesn't really matter whether the test is going to be hard or easy. It just matters how you do relative to your classmates. Okay, so that's really the only thing you have to worry about, am I studying more than my classmates? That should be what you should be thinking about. Your goal should be, I have to study a little bit harder than my classmates. I have to be a little bit better than my classmates If I do that, then I will definitely get an A in the class. Okay. So I mentioned last time, but it's good to get a reminder that these are the sections of the TOEIC exam. The first part is read out loud. You got to read a paragraph or something. But in today's whole lesson is all about reading out loud, so I'm going to explain in a lot more detail in this lesson. And then you have describe a picture, answer simple questions, then read something and then answer questions, and then solve a problem and then give your opinion. Okay, so basically as the weeks go on, each week I think I'm going to cover a different section, or maybe even one or two sections in each lesson. But today's lesson is read out loud. Okay, so read out loud. We've already had a lot of practice reading out loud, right? The first thing we read was Dr. Seuss, All the Things You Can Think. And then we read Harry Potter, we read Charlotte's Web, we read Life of Pi, we read our latest assignment is The Giver, okay, assignment 10. So our reading assignments have been getting a little harder, right? I think a little bit harder each time. These are really hard. So sorry, but we started off with all the things you can think, right? That's kind of like low elementary school students in America can read all the things you can think. Then we kind of went to like Harry Potter. That's like middle school students read that. We got up to Life of Pi, which is an adult book. Then we went to The Giver, which, like I said, is like a middle school book, but not easy. These are this is real adult stuff, okay? It's weather reports, business meetings, giving an award to somebody. It's very like professional speeches and professional talk, basically. So this is not kid stuff. This is difficult. But I'm not giving it to you because I want to give you something that's really hard. But I want you to practice the real thing, right? Because you might take this test in the future. So I want to expose you to it and get you used to it. So I think today will be a good chance to practice this, okay? So interesting thing is, and difficult thing is, each one of these styles has a little bit of a different reading style, like a weather report, a business meeting, giving an award. They each have their own little kind of style of how to read. I'm not going to be able to teach you that perfectly because that takes years to learn how to do that. But I'll try to show you a few key points and how each one might be a little different. Okay, so here are some just general tips about reading out loud. First of all, reading out loud seems easy. Most people don't think about it too much. So I have really tried throughout this class to make you guys understand that reading and speaking is not just saying the words, right? There's more than just saying the words. You've got to say the words correctly with the right pronunciation, and you've got to use word stress, and you've got to use intonation, okay? Intonation is very, very important in English. I've tried to show you this throughout the semester. So you'll be graded on it when you take this test. So somebody will listen to you reading, and they're going to check if you're using the correct intonation, if you're using the correct tone for the reading that you are doing, okay? And here are some things that might give you trouble. You may think like, okay, I can read the words, it's not a big deal, but there are some things that might trick you, okay? So one is big numbers, and I'll show you some examples a little later. Abbreviations, so like shortening words where it just has a few letters, but you have to know what the full word is to say it correctly. Those can be tough. And then hard to pronounce words, like words you may have never seen before and you're seeing it for the first time as you're trying to do the reading. Those can be really tough for you and cause you to make mistakes. Okay, before we do that though, I want to show you some videos. I think showing you some examples of like a weather forecast, a business talk can make you realize how important intonation and the way you speak is. Okay, so I always try to get students to understand the importance of intonation and controlling your voice when speaking English. But it's not something that people learn quickly. Okay, so even though I really try every semester, I really try to make students understand this. It takes time, and some of you are really following my advice well, and I can see that you're really trying your best to follow the intonation. So thank you for that, and keep doing that. Okay. All right. So let's check out the first video. Okay. You know what? Sorry, I don't want to use Explorer. Give me a second. All right, I'll just do the link. Okay, let me put everything here. Go to Chrome. Link. Okay, so this is a clip from The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but it's an interesting movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio. He plays a guy, or this is a true story, by the way. He was a man who worked in Wall Street, and he worked at a big business trading stock. He was a great salesman, but he lost his job, and he got a job at a smaller, kind of almost illegal stock trading place. But through his amazing speaking skills, he was able to sell so much stock and make so much money. And Leonardo DiCaprio does such a great job in the movie because he's so charismatic and he speaks so well. So obviously, you're not going to be able to speak as well as Leo in the movie, but I hope that by watching the clip, you can kind of notice the things that he does. He's not reading like some students, right? So obviously, most students are good, but some students, hello everyone, my name is Danda. He's definitely not doing that. So let's watch the way that he speaks, and let's try to copy him a little bit. I have to turn down my mic.
A postcard a few weeks back requesting. You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell? Oh, yeah, I may have sent some. Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute? Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
This stock will pay off my house.
John, one thing I can promise you, even in this market, is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers because I have so few. And in the case of Aerotyne, based on every technical factor out there, John, we are looking at a grand slam home run.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do $4,000.
4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares, John. Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John?
Sounds good.
Great. Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investors Center.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
How'd you fucking do that?
Okay, so pretty good, right? Good old Leonardo DiCaprio. What are some things that he did there? It's hard for me to explain exactly what he's doing, but one thing you might notice is that he's really hitting each word, each of the important words really hard, right? It's a cutting edge company, right? So I've tried to teach you this a little bit before, but when you see adjectives, when you see action words, describing words, you've got to hit those, okay? You got to have some emotion in your voice, right? You got to maybe lift up your body when you're speaking. That's the way to kind of improve your speaking. You don't want to sound boring or bored when you speak, okay? All right, so let's take a look. What is this? This might be the weather one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know. This is weird. Let's try this one. Sorry guys, a little slow today. Okay. So I guess I should show you this first. Sorry, I'm a little confused. My video is a little disorganized today, guys. I'm very sorry. Basically, I'm gonna show you. These are from the real test. This is like a real TOEIC speaking test. I found a website that has like sample questions, and these are real questions that were used in the TOEIC speaking before. So there are 3 of them. The first one is basically like a earnings report from a business. So this is kind of similar to the Wolf of Wall Street one. This is a hotel advertisement, basically. Okay, so this one is all about like selling the cool hotel. So like you'll see that I'm going to show you an advertisement for basically an expensive luxury hotel, and try to notice how the person speaking really focuses on making the hotel sound cool, basically. All right, so let's check it out. Turn my mic.
There is nothing more vital than a human connection. So if you'd ask us, we would not define our colleagues by the usual list of conventional characteristics. This is what makes us unique inventive, and creative. We have obtained a different work ethic in which we find solutions in perhaps unorthodox but very efficient ways. It's what keeps us thinking outside of the box, happily and rewardingly. This is what makes us unique, inventive, and creative. There is no place like home, so we create a place like home, right here. And where we feel home, we also feel free and safe to try new ways of communication. This is what makes us unique, inventive, and creative. This is hospitality at its best. We see opportunity and beauty in the little things, and gladly set aside a few silly rules to acknowledge exactly that. This is how we know hospitality. Send us your 15-second video.
Okay, actually, I didn't watch the whole video before. I watched like, part of it. That was a little dirty, right? But sorry. You guys are adults, right? So I hope nobody was too surprised by that video. I really apologize. Really, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm really sorry about that. But let's ignore the little strange part that happened in the video. But notice how the guy is not really speaking quickly, right? It's not about your speed when you read. It's about hitting the important part, right? Novotel, a beautiful, interesting, great place to stay. So you don't have to read fast, but you do have to hit the correct words. Okay. All right. Okay, the last one should be a weather video. So let's find it. Is it? Okay, let me try that.
Hi there.
Okay, so this is just a totally regular weather forecast. It's from my hometown of Los Angeles. Nothing special in it, but just try to notice the way that the weather person speaks and kind of the tone and the style that she uses. Okay, she's gonna talk really really fast, so it'll probably be difficult to understand, but just try your best. Okay.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Leslie Lopez, and we do have some rain on the way. Right now, the atmosphere doesn't look like a lot's going on. We have a little bit of rain moving into the central coast, but more of that, the front doesn't get in till late tonight. So right when we're going to bed, or some of us still out, the rain starts to move into Santa Barbara, Ventura, then Los Angeles. This is midnight to 1 a.m., and then it moves from Los Angeles into the Inland Empire, Orange County from 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and then on into 4 in the morning. We're still seeing it in San Diego. And again, the rain is going to be heavy at times, so we could see some thunder and lightning. We could see some hail. You might be woken up by the heavy downpours. Even water spouts are not out of the question along the coastline. Unfortunately, it does mean a lot of rain for some of our recent burn areas, so we could see some of those spots affected. So concerns for mudslides and debris flows will continue, and unfortunately, it's happening when it's nighttime, when we can't see at night. So hopefully, you just keep that phone handy and get those alerts when they're coming in. So tonight's the first round of rain. Tomorrow night, or rather Sunday night, is the second round of rain, and that round of rain looks like it'll be providing quite a bit. We have dense fog this morning. Some spots are only seeing a quarter mile of visibility. That's in Chino, that's in Riverside. So it is pretty tough out there commuting. And we've been getting reports that some of these places are only seeing about 200 feet of visibility. So also making it a tough drive. Winter weather advisory. Well, that's in effect now already. Getting into Saturday, it looks like evening. 2 to 8 inches of new snowfall, 6,000 feet and above. Take the chains with you. It's always a good idea to pack warm clothes and take extra food on the road. You're heading up and down the mountain. And the second storm storm, there it is. It comes in on Sunday night into Monday morning, and then yet more rain on Tuesday, and then yet again more rain as we're watching out Tuesday night, and then into Wednesday, and another storm right behind that on Thursday. So it could be 7 days of straight rainfall for us here in Southern California. There will be some breaks rather in between Saturday and Sunday, but again, we're going to see every day potentially have some sort of rainfall, at times very heavy. For Los Angeles and Orange County, 67 down to 60 degrees by Wednesday. And if you're heading out to the valleys Inland Empire, 67, overnight lows into the 40s.
Okay, so she talks really fast, right? Now you know that your teacher does not talk fast, right? I talk a little bit slow actually compared to the way some people talk in America. She was really fast. Okay, so let's keep it going. We've seen the good examples now, right? So hopefully we can keep some of that in our mind when we try to read. So first of all, I think this is important. Let's see. I want you to read these. I want you to do practice with these. So what I'm gonna need you to do is a little bit different from my other assignments. In the past, basically, I've read the sentence and then you repeated it, and I've read it and you repeated it. This time we're gonna do it a little differently because in the test you're not gonna repeat it, right? You gotta read it and try your best. So I think this will be the first assignment where you just are on your own. What I'll do is I'm gonna read this for you one time, okay? And then you're gonna have to take out your phone and you're gonna read this and record it, okay? So different from the other assignments, a little bit harder. Again, I'm not gonna grade you on how well you do. I just if you do it, you get the points, but I want you to try your best. So before we start though, this has some tough words, so let's look at these. So here's the first one. Before I tell you how to say it, can you just think in your mind, how do you say that? Okay, so I think this might get some students. When you see this one, you have to say 51%. Okay, 51%. 51%, 49%, 56%, 57.5%. That's another one, right? 57.5%. Okay, so make sure you hit the point and then the percent. Okay, again, look at this and think about how you're going to say this, and then I'll tell you the right answer. So think about it first. How do you say that? Okay, this is $258.2 billion. Okay, whenever you see this sign, you've got to say dollars at the end. That's something that a lot of students might miss. Okay, so make sure you say the dollars. 258.2. Okay, you got to hit the point. $258.2 billion. All right, one more time. $258.2 billion. Okay. How about this one? Okay, easy one, right? It's 2,750. But it is often said as 2,750. So a lot of native speakers, instead of saying 2,750, will say 2,750. 2,750. Okay. Don't have a lot of time to explain that, but just memorize it. 2750. That's another like more natural way to say it, okay? All right, very easy one. 803, okay? We're not gonna, like, I've heard some students say 803. I guess you could say it like that, but you know, more natural one would just be 803, 803, okay? All right, same thing. 1350, but what's the other way to say it? Can you think about it? That's right, 1350, right? 1350, 2750. Let's try one more, right? How about so 1536, but the other way to say it is 1536. 1536. That's the other way you can say it, and it's a little bit can be a little bit more natural, and like it sounds like you might be a little bit better at English if you say it like that. Okay. All right. So remember, we do have the assignment, so you know, get your phone ready. When you record this, you're gonna have to, you know, pause the video, okay, and read it, record it. You got to do all three videos, all three of these, okay, not just one. You're gonna do all three, and you're gonna do your best. But listen to me. Pause the video, and then you try, okay? So that's what I want you to do. And here we go. Sorry, let me get a little water. One more point about this. When you take the test, I believe they give you like 30 seconds to read it, and then you have 45 seconds to finish speaking. So it's like you should kind of take your time and read it one time in your mind, okay? Because you will have time to do it. So okay, and then check, is there anything I don't know how to say? You know, find any word you don't know, seal, you know, like just kind of think about it first and then talk. Don't just try to read it without you know, preparing, okay? Okay. For the first time, I missed something here. INC is an abbreviation. You can read it as INC, but the correct is incorporated. Incorporated, okay? So this is a tough one to know, but like that'll really show your English skill if you know that INC means incorporated. Okay. For the first time, Seal Incorporated has received more than half its annual sales from groceries. Groceries accounted for 51% of Seal's $258.2 billion in sales last year, up from 49% the year before. The retailer now operates 2,750 supermarkets around the world, while it has pared back its traditional discount stores to 803, down from 1,350 5 years ago. Seal also has been lowering shelves and widening aisles throughout its stores as part of a program to make the shopping experience more appealing. Okay, so my suggestion is maybe you're watching the video now, you could go back, listen to that part one more time, and then pause and, you know, read and try by yourself. What are some key points before you start? Don't start yet, right? For the first time, Seal Incorporated, right? So remember, this is incorporated. See, more than half. Like, this is here half is kind of a big point in the whole article, right? You do have to kind of think about what's the important thing in this article, what's the important information. Half of its sales, right? So that's really important. You got to really rise up on the important information. So it's received more than half its annual sales from groceries. That's another one you want to rise up. groceries. Okay, groceries accounted for 51%. That's 51% of Seal's $258.2 billion in sales last year, up from 49% the year before. So, I've been trying to teach you this, but you got to rise up on the important parts, right? Find what's important in the article and hit those. That's what intonation is. And again, pause the video, your turn. Record, okay? Next. So this is the hotel advertisement. Remember that the point is to sell. So this can also be similar to the one we saw, Wolf of Wall Street, as well, right? Because the goal is to sell, so you got to make it sound kind of cool. So you're gonna hit on the action words, and you're gonna hit on the describing words. Okay, so let's see how I do it. If you're shopping, sightseeing, and running around every minute, your vacation can seem like hard work. To avoid vacation stress, come to Blue Valley Inn on beautiful Lake Mead. While staying at our inn, you'll breathe clean country air as you view spectacular sights. With its spacious rooms, swimming pool, and many outdoor activities, the inn is the perfect place for a vacation you won't forget. The Blue Valley Inn prides itself on the personal attention it provides to every guest. The Blue Valley motto has always been, "A happy guest is our greatest treasure." Okay? So, what are the points here, right? Shopping, sightseeing, running around every minute, right? You got to hit on the important parts. You want to hit beautiful Lake Mead, right? You're trying to sell this, so you got to accentuate the beautifulness of the place. Spectacular sights. Okay, so I don't want to hear anybody reading like this. If you're shopping, sightseeing, and running around every minute, your vacation can seem like hard work. To avoid vacation stress, come to Blue Valley Inn on beautiful Lake Mead while staying at our inn. If you do it like that, I'm gonna make you do it one more time. Okay? I've tried to be patient with you guys and while you learn how to do this, but the time is finished to read like that. There's no more. Okay? Now you have to change your style. You gotta be like the Wolf of Wall Street. Okay? You gotta hit this one hard and do it well. Okay? So I'm excited to hear how you read this one, and I'm sure you can do a good job. Okay, so the last one is this weather report. Let me just give it a try and see how it is. Remember, this one, you're not selling anything, right? You're giving information, so it's a little bit, it's a little more neutral, right? I'm not trying to sell it. I'm letting you know what's going on, right? So let's try. And notice that the weather is a little bit faster. It's kind of a faster pace, right? You're not really taking time to like hit it's just kind of fast. So, okay. Well, for those of you who went out today, I don't have to tell you it was clear but muggy for most of the state, with the high temperatures in the low to mid 90s. The city of Elkview had the high for the day of 97 degrees. For those of you planning outdoor activities tomorrow, you can expect fair skies for most of Saturday with temperatures in the high 90s. However, things might change by Saturday evening with a storm front moving in. We can expect light scattered showers over the northern part of the state, bringing slightly cooler temperatures in the 80s, but this range should taper off by mid-Sunday morning. It will be partly cloudy for most of the morning, but these clouds should move out by mid-afternoon. Skies should be clear Sunday night for those wanting to catch a glimpse of the partial lunar eclipse. It should start at 10:47 p.m. And that's all for today's weather. Okay, so in my opinion, this is probably like the most challenging one to do well. Like it requires you to read really fast and really perfectly. I'm sure almost no students will be able to do it perfectly, but that's what a challenge is, right, guys? You take something that's difficult, you try it, a bunch of times and you get better, right? That's how you improve. If you don't try to do it, then you can't improve. So just to repeat, I'll post an assignment probably after you see this video. You got to read each of these and do your best, record it and send it on the CT system, and good luck doing it. And I still did not do the extra lesson. I've got a long extra lesson, maybe next time, okay? Anyway, see you next time, and